Happy Friday, everyone. I'm Mike Moliterno. Welcome to the TGIF Report. Now, we do have a new issue out today, but that's not what we are going to talk about. If you'd like to check that out, and I encourage you to do so, you can do that by clicking the free e-edition preview at businessjournaldaily.com. What I'd like to do today is kind of a Flashback Friday type thing, because who doesn't love history?
Me.
Well, yeah, Steve doesn't. But most people do find history interesting, according to an assumption I just made, especially local history. If you fall into that category, then you should definitely check out our Flashback series, where we have tons of videos dedicated to local history. And there's a lot to learn and celebrate. For instance, did you know that the Warner Brothers opened their first theater in Newcastle, Pennsylvania?
They soon realized that people were not willing to sit outside in a tent and watch a movie. So it dawned on them that they needed to have a permanent residence.
In 1907, the brothers opened their first permanent theater, the Cascade, in Newcastle.
Newcastle was growing so fast that if they opened in Newcastle, that they would be able to attract new customers who had just arrived in the city.
Now, something that I like to do from time to time is think about what different locations or routes that I routinely take used to look like years ago. If you like to do that also, well, we have several videos that offer a glimpse of our community as it was, including this video on the history of downtown Warren.
Everything that was here, a lot of it's not here, and I'm fascinated by it.
Places like the Warren Opera House and the Packard Pool, which closed in 1989.
We have some pictures of the Village Cafe, which is next to the Saratoga, and it was a pretty hopping cafe, restaurant, bar up until the mid to late 80s.
Or this one titled Lost Youngstown. If you ever attended a dance in Youngstown, chances are Mike Roncone played in the band. He says one of his favorite venues was the Elms Ballroom,
which was up here on Elm Street in the part of Youngstown State. Of course, it wasn't part of Youngstown State then, it was a ballroom.
Here's something interesting. Did you know that hundreds of years ago, Native Americans carved hundreds of petroglyphs into the limestone rock at the bottom of the Ohio River near East Liverpool? Did you also know that except for a few occasions, they've been totally underwater since the river was dammed? Well, it's true, and we have the video to prove it.
People have been speculating about the petroglyphs for a couple hundred years now.
But that's not to say some history doesn't exist. The site, just over the Ohio state line near East Liverpool, was displayed on Lewis Evans' 1755 map of North America, where it was labeled Antique Sculptures. It was also noted by French explorer Chassegros de Lery in 1739.
They were noticed when George Washington passed through the area in 1770.
While many things have changed, some aspects of our community remain the same despite the years. I'm talking primarily about our architecture, which wouldn't be what it is without the Owsleys, a father-son architectural firm that left a lasting mark on our community.
I think a lot of people are not as familiar with them. They know their work, but they don't attribute it to the Owsleys. And because their work really reflects the clients that they had and what those people were looking for, it doesn't have one single identifiable look.
So be sure to check out these videos and the rest of our Flashback series. I am sure you will be both educated and entertained. That is all for this week's TGIF Report. I'm Mike Moliterno. See you next Friday.
717 Credit Union. Business services designed to meet your daily needs. Commercial loans, business deposits, merchant and payroll services. 717 Credit Union. It's knowing you were treated right every time.